Hey everybody, it's me, Tom Angleberger, the author of Origami Yoda and The Two-Headed Chicken and a whole lot of other books. And I'm here to do some origami for you, and believe it or not, we've got a new way to fold Origami Yoda. No, not this tiny little one here. I'll show you in a second here. A new Origami Yoda with arms. Uh, you may know that the Origami Yoda on the cover of the book, there really aren't any arms, and the hand is just taped on. That's the dark secret of Origami Yoda. But this Origami Yoda's got real arms and real hands, and they're all part of the same piece of paper. I'm really pleased with this new guy. I'm going to show you how to make him, and I'm also going to explain how you could use the same beginnings to make all kinds of other stuff, including here's a little Pikachu we made with little arms. Recently, there's a better Pikachu fold that I made, but it didn't have arms, it just had feet. I kind of like the little arms on this one. This fold is perfect for making Baby Yoda. It makes it even better Baby Yoda than a real Yoda. And then another Pokemon here, because if you don't know, we're folding all the Pokemon over on origamiyoda.com. We've got 80 or so far. We're trying to get the 151 first. This is Rhydon. He's somewhere around 140, I think. So let me show you how you can make any of these just using a basic technique that creates the arms. All right, so hold on, here we go. So we're going to use a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper here. Probably you're going to end up wanting to use like a quarter of this to make your puppets, but let's start out with a big one so you can really see how it all works. Okay. Now, normally I don't do any measurements, but we're actually going to fold this thing 3 inches. What happened to my ruler? Hold on one second. We're going to fold this thing about 3 inches. It doesn't have to be exact, but it might be good to know basically where 3 inches is. So I'm just going to make a little dot here where it's about 3 inches. Just so that I get it a little bit right. As you learn how to do this, you can start experimenting with other sizes of this first fold. This first fold is going to determine a lot of stuff about how your origami turns out. So there it is. Let's see if I got it on the dot. I almost got it on the dot. All right, put my desk back together here. So we folded 3 inches over. We almost have an exact square now. Piece of paper. We're going to now fold this piece here back in the other direction. This is going to be the arms. Let's get Yoda back out here. This is going to be the arms. So what I want you to do is think about how big you want his arms to be. And the answer is a little less than an inch in this case. But who knows what you might end up folding. You might end up folding a Pokemon with really big arms, or another character with really small arms. So you'll need to experiment as you go forward here. All right. What I'm going to do now, don't do this. I don't want you to do this. This is just to help me show you what's going on here. I'm going to draw Yoda's arms on this piece of paper so that you can see how this works. I'm just hoping this will make it a little easier to show you how this works. So there's his arms. I drew that on that little flap that we put down. There's his arms. Again, don't do that. I mean, you can do it if you want to, but don't. All right. I'm going to flip this back over now. Okay, here we go. This is where it gets a little more complicated than my normal easy folds. So pay attention to what we're doing here. We're going to take a corner and we're going to lift it up so that it exactly meets that flap there. Okay, let me show you up close how that works. See where that flap is? It'll naturally want to fold there. It's not going to be a difficult fold. Okay, and just try to get it to fold straight across at a nice angle. Make a really good crease with your fingernail and then unfold it. And then over here on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Pull that up. Right there is where we will fold it. Give it a good crease like that. Okay, and now you unfold Excellent. Hopefully that all went pretty good for you. So you see this little spot here where the diagonal crease meets the bottom. I want you to fold the whole side over right on that crease. And as you can see, his hands are coming around here. Okay, fold that whole side over, and it should be a nice straight up and down fold. Again, as you experiment making different characters, you may not want that to be straight up and down. You might want it to be at an angle. But for now, just do one straight up and down. And go over here on the other side and do this one. Right on that same spot where the diagonal crease meets the bottom of the paper. That's where you're going to fold over. And do try to hit that spot if you can. It'll make your life easier. All right, there you go. Now, notice how his sleeves work here. Okay, we're going to make that happen here, and I'll show you how we do that. What we want to do is put one finger here, move this up to the center, put one finger here to keep the top flap down. Put another finger underneath the hand and start pulling up. And as you do that, you'll see that bottom wants to make the fold. It wants to fold like that, so just let it. Once it does, squash it down. That may look like a hard fold, but trust me, the paper is doing the hard work for you there. All you have to do is keep one finger here, use the other finger to pull this, and the paper will do its thing for you with no trouble. And as you can see, we've now got, look, there's Origami's arm is already sticking out past the edge of the sleeve there. Very nice. Okay, let's do it on the other side. Once again, put one finger to hold this down. Use another finger in here like that. Look at how it just naturally wants to go there. Okay, but it doesn't always naturally want to fold down flat. Okay, you may have to reinforce these creases or even slightly adjust the creases. But you should have this now. Kind of looks like a boat. From the other side, it's going to look like that. All right, we are going to call this the arm base. Maybe we'll think of a better name someday, but this is going to be the puppet. Hey, let's call it the puppet arm base because it's for making puppets and it's for making puppets with arms. So let's call it that. The puppet arm base. That's still not a very good name. Anyway, puppet arm base is like this. Flip it back over. Let's see if we can start making it look a little more like Origami Yoda here. I bet you know how to do that, don't you? This is the same fold we've been doing for years around here. You're going to go up here. You're going to take one of these loose flaps. You're going to fold it out to the side like that. Crease it all the way down. You're going to go up here and take another one of these loose flaps. You're going to fold it all the way out to the side like that. Okay? That should be real familiar to anybody who's ever done the E-Z Origami Yoda. And if you've never done that one, you should have done that one first before you got to this one, because this one's not quite as easy. Okay, here we go. We're going to fold this down. And we don't want to fold too far. Don't fold it on top of these arms here. Just fold it to right about there. All right. Now, this is, to me, this is looking sort of like a baby Yoda with the way the ears stick out like that. Adult Yoda looks a little more like this. I would fold his head back just a little bit like that. Okay, you can mess with that and adjust those ears any way you want. Now, let's go ahead and draw a quick face on there just so we all know what we're looking at here. There's one eye, there's the other eye, and there's a nice smile. All right. All right, there you go. Now that we know what we're looking at here, we've got the ears, we got the head, we got the arms. Let's fold the arms in front. If we just folded them straight over, they'd be like this. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's kind of cute. I like to give them a little bit of an angle, like this. And that's going to make the side of the puppet stick out a little bit. Okay, that gives him sort of a nice Yoda shape. All right. Now, there's a little bit of work you can do here. You can fiddle with this a lot more, but I'm just going to leave it just like this for right now. And now it's real easy to decorate the brown robe. And especially if you started with green paper, all you got to do is the brown robe and you're done. All right, I hope that makes sense to everybody. I hope you like the new way of folding Origami Yoda. Let me give you one quick tip before we move on. Go around to the back here, grab some scissors. Let me grab the scissors. You're going to grab the scissors and just make a snip here. Okay, now it'll be a lot easier to put your finger through there and use it as a puppet. Okay, kind of wishing I had folded his head down a little farther. This Yoda over here, I did a little better job folding his head down a little bit farther. He looks better than the one I just made for you. But like I said, there's a lot of tweaking and adjustments to make to get this Yoda to work. But I think you'll find it's a little more complicated than the E-Z Yoda, but it's pretty neat. I like the little arms. I think they're cool. So that's one thing you can do with the arm base. Let me pull out, I've got another arm base folded here. I want to show you some more things you can do. Obviously, you could have made a few adjustments with this and gotten the origami, the baby Yoda, the origami baby Yoda, okay? But what if you wanted to go a little further and use the head shaping techniques that you can find in my Animal Crossing video? Okay, it's real easy to do once you've got the head right. But right now, the head is not exactly right. So let me show you what you need to do to improve this a bit and move on to advanced arm puppet origami folds. I need to come up with a better name for this whole thing. Armagami? I don't know about that. All right. So it's getting silly around here. All right, so let's see what we could do here. What you want to do is we're going to tuck this paper over to the other side. Okay, see how we have here, no matter how we fold this, we're always going to have these flaps here like that. Now, they weren't a problem for Yoda because of his robe, but Pikachu doesn't have those. We don't want there to be too many flaps. So what we're going to do, we are going to get this and this to fold around to the other side. Does that make any sense? I don't know exactly how to explain it, but flip things over, open it up and flip things over, open this up a bit, and now you're going to take this whole line here and fold it over. Okay? And you'll see it kind of naturally wants to do that. It's a little complicated down here, but it actually works out on its own pretty well. If it's not working out for you on its own, I apologize. I'm not sure exactly how to explain it. Basically, we want this entire side here to fold over so it's right in the middle here. Watch. We start up the top. We start folding right on that existing crease. And by the time we get to the bottom, it's just where it wants to be. So now if we flip things over and do this, move our arms back like that, we now have a lot to work with. We could fold this down and fold just about anything we want to here, and then use the extra paper for Pikachu's ears, or Princess Leia's hair, or Kit Fisto's, what do they call those things on Kit Fisto? I don't know, whatever they are. There's a lot of things you could do with this. You could go anywhere with this. All right, so there's a lot of paper here to work with, a lot of room. You can do whatever you want. But if you want to go even one step further, let's call this the medium technique. If you want to go for the advanced technique, stick with me for one more step, and we are going to fold this so that you can do the head shaping techniques that work great for Pokemon, Star Wars, Animal Crossing, lots of stuff. Okay, here we go. Stick with me, don't panic. First thing you want to do is figure out how far you're going to fold the head down. So let's fold it down. Don't go anywhere past the arms, and don't cover up the arms. So basically almost right to where the arms meet the side. Okay, give that a good crease. All right, but you're saying to me, Tom, that's terrible. There's 2 flaps there. Now that might work if you were folding somebody with hair like that, maybe Princess Leia, but that's not what we're doing. Still a lot of potential there. Look at that. That's not bad. Okay, if you've got that crease though, I want you to fold this back up. All right, open up these arms a little bit because our paper is about to do some gymnastics. We are going to open this up, fold down on that crease we just made. Okay, you can see the paper is resisting a little bit, but once we get it past that point, it folds over and then it closes up and then our arms come back and we've got, boy, this is a perfect Mace Windu right here. What do you think? Or could be just about anything. What we've got here is the head separated from the body, and on the back, here are these flaps that are going to allow us to use the head shaping techniques. Let me show you how those work if you've never done them before. You might want to turn this right side up. You're going to stick a finger in here and you're going to squash this down. Where? Well, that's up to you. Let's say we squash it down here where this diagonal line goes right out to that point. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. We stuck some fingers in there, we open it up, and then we squash it down. You can literally squash it down in a lot of different places here. It could be a lot of different ways. I just decided to do it right there. Then I'm going to fold this corner in like this. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to fold this corner in like this. Let's flip it over and see what we got. Look at that. It's a body with a head that's actually kind of head-shaped and 2 arms. We can do a lot more work to get this more head-shaped. Can bend things in here. Any corners we bend in. Like that. What are you going to make out of this? Anything you want. Look what I made out of it. Me! With my tiny little paper origami Yoda. All right, I hope I've given you some good ideas. I hope it made sense of how you're going to fold this new kind of origami Yoda. I hope you see how I was able to make other stuff out of it. And I hope it's given you some ideas of some great stuff to make out of it. So the only thing I've got left to say is, may the Force be with you, always. I'll see you next time, Super Folders.